Hi guys, and welcome to my tattoo story. A lot of you have been asking me to do a video on my tattoos, which I did have one planned, but it's taken me a lot of time to get the information together because I wanted to sort of get all the dates and things. But I managed to do it, and I've had to take the photos and things like that. But here we are. It did take a while, and I'm sorry, but here it is. So let's start with my first tattoo. I had my first tattoo when I was 20, and that was in February 2004, so it was quite a while ago. The first one I had was my name across my lower back, and it's in Japanese, and it's actually katakana Japanese. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's the Japanese translation of the English word. So my name is spelled Georgina, whereas the Japanese translation for it is Jyojina, so it's more like Giorgina. But it's still my name. A lady did it for me who worked with my dad at the time, and she was Japanese, so I'm pretty sure it came from a very good source. So that was my first one. I remember going in, hearing the sound of the tattoo machine, and just feeling really sick at the sound of it, and I was like dreading it. And I went in with my friend and let her, she like crushed my hand while she was having hers done. Then she went out to ring her mum because she was so excited, and left me on my own. So I had it done on my own, and since then I was hooked. The stars above that you can see above my name, I added those a few years later. I just wanted to make a bit of more of a feature of it, but it sort of didn't work out as I planned. They do need recolouring, so I think I'll have something a bit more fancier done eventually. There's so much that I always want, but you know, it's quite an expensive thing to get done, so you just have to wait to have the money. So that's on my lower back. I had two more in the first year that I started getting tattoos. I had one on my stomach. I'm not going to show you a picture, sorry. It's sort of like planets, it looks like. But since having a baby, it's not distorted, but it has got a lot of stretch marks through it. And I had it extended several times. One of the tattoo artists that did it put some stars on, and the shading is awful around the stars, so I probably will get that covered up eventually. And the other one I had done was on my ankle. So I had one flower put on my ankle, on my right ankle, and I then had this all extended at a later date. So at a later date it got made into the two flowers at the bottom, and then I also had added the tattoo above, which is like a tribal style butterfly, and that tattoo was designed by one of my brother's girlfriends at the time. She's a very talented artist, and I said, oh, can you do some drawings for me? So she sent me a few, and this was the one I chose, and it goes well with the flowers. It sort of flows nicely. So that's on the outer side of my right leg at the bottom. And when I had the flowers extended, I also had my flowers done on my foot. Now, my first tattoo was actually my left foot, and this was in 2007. And it's just flowers with a bit of tribal behind. And then the other flowers on my other foot were added, like I say, when I had the flowers extended. I think that was around 2009, so it was just a bit after. But I went in, the one I got on my foot with the tribal, I'll perhaps reinsert the photo. I remember going in, and it was so painful. Especially when it got near my toes, and I came out and I said, I'm never having any more. I still went back for more. So it can't have been that bad. So next up I had a sun done on my shoulder. This was quite a big one, not a big one as in the word as in large, but it was very visible compared to the other ones, and at the time not many girls had them that visible, so I did get a few funny comments about that one, but I wasn't too bothered because I liked it, and that's the main thing, is that they are for you. They're not for anybody else, they are for you, so just remember that. and when I say remember that, I mean when you're having tattoos done, don't worry about what other people think. If it makes you happy, then that's all that matters. So after my shoulder, I decided to go across sort of the back, and I had a little tribal design done on the back of my neck with some stars in, which you can't see at the moment, but I do usually have my hair in a bob, and I am going to have it cut back into a bob soon because this heat and my long hair, I just can't cope. But you will be able to see it on the back of my neck then as well, which is what I like. I had some stars put on in between, and I also had a fairy added. This was in a few years later. This was about 2010. I had the fairy added. It's just a silhouette of a fairy, quite into sort of otherworldly things like that. So she's sort of pointing her wand, and the stars are going across my back. I then had the start of my arm actually. But I have missed one out actually. In 2010, I had a memorial tattoo done on the top of my left leg, and it was for my dad's best friend who sadly passed away. So it's a guitar based design with cherry blossoms to fit in sort of with what I had on my arm and stuff. And on the head of the guitar is his initials and his date of his birth year to the year when he died. So my dad helped me design that one as well, so that's quite a special one to me. Not all of my tattoos have great meaning, but they're all ones that I liked and I chose because I felt they complemented my personality. And I know a lot of people say, oh, it's no good if it doesn't mean anything, but to be honest, it does. If you've picked it and you like it, then that obviously means something to you. So yes, there was that one. So going back to my arm, which I think actually I had my arm started before that, but it was around the same time, because we did put the cherry blossoms on my leg to sort of complement the ones on my arm. But I had my birth sign done on my arm, and I'm a Virgo, so I had the sign for Virgo. And I had some butterflies around that to make it look pretty. Apologies for my croaky voice today, guys. I've got a bit of a bad throat. This then carried on, and I had it around the other side, which were the bigger butterflies here. And then eventually it went all the way up and all the way underneath. So I'll just hold it there like that for a minute for you to have a look at. I think because I'm quite pale, the colours sort of really stand out, and I've got this sort of minty green colour and some bits of yellow as well. And no matter where I go, I always get compliments on my arm. People coming up to me telling me how beautiful it is, and they've never seen a tattoo like it. So I do quite like it, but sometimes when you get like the third or fourth person coming up to you and you're trying to shop, you're like, oh my gosh. But no, it's really lovely that people do say that to you. So yeah, this was done over time. I think I've maybe done in 6 sessions or something like that. A couple of hours at a time. We sort of would do the line work and then leave it, go back and then get it coloured in. So we sort of did this section, you know, and the bottom bit. This part was particularly sore. I had a nerve in my leg which kept going, so my leg kept moving as she was doing it. Oh, it was awful, but we got there in the end, and I love it, and I'm so glad I've got it. I really am. On my wrists, I've got 2 symbols which face me. So basically, if my arms are facing somebody else, they're upside down. But on my left one, I've got the symbol for happiness, and my right one, the symbol for strength. This was done, you know, when I was having a bit of a tough time, and it always reminds me of that. So that's sort of got that little bit of meaning there for me personally. And I really like them and where they're placed because I can see them, and it's always a reminder. And just not a bad reminder, sorry, I should say. It's just a reminder to stay happy, basically. So let's see. I had to get all this information. And I tried to remember the years. I used to write it down when I went, but after the 22nd visit to a tattoo place, I sort of stopped writing it down, which I'm a bit gutted now actually, because I don't know the dates of some. So on my left ankle I've got an ankh, which is a sign for immortality. It's got a heart above it and I've got two little pretty bits either side. I feel like this needs a bit more work to it, this one in particular, but I do like vampires and things, so there's that meaning sort of behind that one for me. That's why I had that done. And on the inside of my left ankle, I'm tapping each part of my body that I'm talking about to you, so you can't see that, but never mind. I had a Friday the 13th tattoo, which you may have heard about it. There's a thing in the tattoo world where people like to go on a Friday the 13th to get a 13 tattoo. I really wanted to do this, so on Friday the 13th of September in 2013, I managed to go and get this done, and I had lucky 13 done. So the 13's in Ace of Spades, and I love this tattoo. It just, the fact that I got one done, it's just everything to me. I just love it. And then, let's see, should we go across to my opposite ankle? On the inside of my right ankle, I've got a cancer ribbon. And this was done as part of a world record attempt to a local tattoo shop. They tried to do as many tattoos as they could in 24 hours. They didn't beat the record, but they did add a bit of colour into them and things, so maybe the design was a little bit too intricate for what they were doing, whereas it's a basic design, but it is, you know. But anyway, they made money for cancer. You got a certificate for taking part, which was really good. And it was just fun to be part of, and again, that's another memory, you know. And I have had a lot of people who I'm close to die from cancer and things, so you know, it's got a sort of double meaning, that one as well. Let's see. So in January 2014, I had my collarbones done. I promised my mum I would wait till after I got married to have these done, and I did. So I have my two little, well, I suppose you could call them bluebirds just because they're blue. They've sort of got a swallowy look about them. But these took quite a while to get placed. I found a design that I liked in a magazine, and I showed Sammy, who does my tattoos, and she drew out these for me. So these are mine. Nobody else has got these. And we sort of had to draw lines across me and things like that, and I looked like I was going to have an operation. But we finally got them placed. I think there was 2 or 3 of the tattoo artists in the shop looking, oh, is that straight, is that, you know, because you need to get them perfect because they are there forever. But I really loved my birds. Especially, I loved like the collarbone look of tattoos. So again, that was in 2014. My latest one that I had was also in 2014, so I haven't had any for a couple of years. That is because of childbirth and things like that. There are loads I want, and I will get them done eventually, but at the moment I just don't have the money to do it. So this is my My Little Pony tattoo. So these are ones we did, we sort of drew the ponies, but we chose the colours, so they're not actually characters from My Little Pony, and obviously My Little Pony have changed their look now, but I did want the original look to this tattoo. So my top one is a unicorn, and she's got a little diamond on her bum there. And my bottom one is my favourite colour, purple, and she's got a little music note. We're quite a musical family, and so there are a few music notes dotted about my body, which then leads me on to my right wrist. In 2012, me and my husband went to a tattoo convention in a place called Telford, which is near to us, and I got a tattoo of treble clef and bass clef made into a heart. The music notes were added a little bit later on. I just had the heart done at the tattoo convention. It wasn't done by, but I did see Louis Malloy from London Ink. It was a really nice day. It was a bit pricey, but I just had to get one done because, you know, it was my first and probably one of the only ones I'll ever go to, tattoo conventions. We didn't go the following year because they seem to have a lot of the same stuff, like same shows, like there was roller derby, ice sculpting, a lot of demos of tattoos and things. So yeah, we didn't go again, but it was a really good day out and I loved it. Then on the other side here, I've got my mum's, my dad's and my brother's initials. So let me come a bit closer, see if I can show you this. So we've got an L, an M and an S, which is Linda Michael Stephen. My brother's got the matching on the back of his neck, he's got GML, so that's me, my mum, my dad, Georgina, Michael, Linda. So yeah, so I've got that one. Did I say, yeah, Linda Michael Stephen, I said that, didn't I? So there's that one. I can't, oh, I think that was in 2009, and that one was the first one that I had done by Sammy, who's done loads of mine. A couple of times I've been to other people, which I forgot to say actually, the one on my leg was done in Brighton at a tattoo shop called Into You Tattoo, and it was done by a man called Jim. So I've been to a few different places to have them, but I do like to go to Sammy. I always tell people it's a bit like a hairdresser. When you find somebody you like, you sort of stick to them. So yes, there's that one. I think I've talked about them all now actually. I've been trying to go through it as sort of okay order, because there was so much to go through. I didn't want to miss anything out or anything like that. So yeah, so I think that's all of them actually. If you've got any questions, let me know, because I may have missed something out, but I don't think so. I've done my feet, my ankles, my leg, my shoulders, my arm, my neck, my other arm. Yeah, I think that's it. I have also had a bit of 5 minutes of fame in the tattoo world. I've appeared in Skin Deep magazine a couple of times. The first time I sent them a picture of me and my huge collection of their magazines, which I don't actually have anymore. And the second time I'm actually in this one here, and it's the picture of me in my wedding dress, which I sent in because I just wanted to show that, you know, you can still look beautiful in a wedding dress, even if you're covered in tattoos. So there I am there. I don't know if you can see that well enough or not. And basically they said that they thought I looked nice too, so that's all good. So I have kept the 2 magazines that I've been in, because that's, you know, that's really good for me. I really enjoyed doing that. So yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm sorry if I've waffled on a lot. Like I say, if I've missed anything out and you've got any questions, please ask me below. And if you're new to my channel, I do normally do nail videos, but thank you for watching this one. So don't forget to leave me a thumbs up, and I will see you all next time. Bye.